Welcome everyone who chose group number 2, this lovely camping mug with a carabiner clip. Welcome to Treaty 7 territory, the traditional lands of the Blackfoot Confederacy, the I.MAGI.NATION nations and Region 3 Métis Nation of Alberta. We are in what is colonially known as Banff National Park at US18 campsite Burstall Pass. I also have a video of checking out the campsite and the natural environment and hanging out in its setting. I encourage you to look at that because we are never coming back here ever again. That slog of a hike, especially on this side of the mountain, it's not worth it for me. Other people, great, sure, whatever. But we are never coming back. So, with that being said, let's check out group number 2, what you need to know most from this setting. Let's see. What does group number 2 need to know? We have the 3 of Wands and the Judgment reversed. What else? We have the King of Pentacles. Anything else? Anything else? Any jumpy jumps? Maybe this one more? Yeah. The Tower. We got some intensity stuff going on. Group number 2. 2 of Pentacles under the deck. So most of what's going to come through is going to be in relation to trying to juggle or maintain. I keep getting this idea of 2 realities. The main narrative that's coming through to me is trying to maintain 2 realities. So maybe you have like 2 different lives, and no judgment if that's the case. It's more like how that plays out and what your consent values are, none of my business. It could also be about having to juggle like 2 responsibilities or like home life, career life, but the first thing that came to me was just like 2 different lives. So take that as you will, whether that's like my home life and my mistress, family life versus work-life balance, whatever. There's an oscillation here. There is a sense of being stuck waiting still. Almost like you can't move forward between one thing or the other, that you're caught trying to maintain both because there's a need to wait for something to happen or for something to show up for you to be able to make decisions one way or the other, or to maintain something in a more balanced manner. Sorry, this is going to be like some aggressive swatting this entire time. With Judgment reversed, though, there is a message, and don't shoot the messenger, that you may not be entirely getting the point of the situation that you find yourself in. Judgment is normally coming to a trial or a test or something where we are supposed to learn and then complete and move on from with greater knowledge. When Judgment is reversed, it's like not seeing the lesson, or it being a repetitive cycle that happens to you again and again and again, and you're like, I don't know why this keeps happening to me, and you're like, really? It's because you don't see it or learn the lesson or actually apply what you learn from it, and you just stick with the same old, same old. So I'm telling that to you because if you resonate with what I'm saying so far, I want you to understand that there is something about the situation that you find yourself to be in that is supposed to be a grander lesson, and you have the free will and power to be able to look at and embrace this lesson. I think the lesson is maybe about leveling up your maturity, leveling up your ability to be a stable, nurturing provider, both for yourself and for others. The King of Pentacles is like, I can pay all the bills for myself and for those whom I take care of. I am stable, I'm reliable, I am here to contribute. And then with the Tower, we have like, something is going to come up. If things are not already disrupted with this oscillation, with this juggling, something is going to happen that you can't see coming, that's going to really try and push this, I feel like, judgment factor. But we're gonna pull some clarifiers here to see what's up, because the Tower doesn't necessarily mean it has to be bad, but it could be shocking and revelations kind of deal. Let's look at the Three of Wands, please. We have the Chariot reversed. Again, major not moving forward. So I need a little bit more clarification on that. Like, is it you that's not moving forward at all? Or is it that you can't move forward because you're waiting for something? Five of Coins. So there is either ill health or destitution or not having the material needs to achieve the task that you want to be able to move forward. So for example, maybe it's like, I don't have enough money to be able to manage both, or maybe I need to sacrifice this to get that to help with this. There is a sense of depression and struggle and strife that comes with the Five of Pentacles, and that it pertains to the feelingness of stuck and not being able to move forward, and you having to wait for a break so that you can get some movement going in your life. Let's look at the Judgment reverse, please. What is it about this lesson? Tell me more about the lesson for group number 2. Movement is about moving forward. Okay. If it's not about like maintaining a facade of one life versus the other, I think it could be about like having to decide to move forward from one life to another, for example. Now I'm starting to see like waiting, stuckedness, not moving forward, feeling like, oh, I can't afford. Like maybe if you're in a relationship that's really shitty, you're like, well, but I can't afford to leave, kind of thing. But it's all about, the Judgment lesson is about moving on, greatly moving on, you know, with a 8 of Wands here. That's energy just through the sky. Let's get a little bit more though, just to make sure. The Star, healing, health, trust. You need to trust instead of being like, oh, this is a cycle that keeps coming up over and over again. Why does this keep happening? Or I keep making the same decision and going back to the same thing and trying to maintain the old status quo, when really it's about getting the fuck out or away from, or, you know, making a decision to leave one job to go for a different opportunity, or whatever it is. It's about, instead of trying to hold on to both things or constantly maintain something that does not serve you, is about letting go of it, even though you feel like you're going to be poor or you feel like a lack or whatever. It's not, you don't feel any more fulfilled by staying or by maintaining that, okay? You just feel stuck. And the lesson, taking control of judgment and putting it upwards, is committing to healing, growth, and trusting that moving forward, moving onwards, letting go of this other thing that you're trying to balance, needs to be dropped. You need to commit to that one thing. You need to go for it. Let's look at King of Swords reversed, Knight of Chalices reversed. Okay, this is interesting. So, this could be you, this could be if you're involved with someone, but the King of Pentacles, as I described, has this like opposition of either someone or yourself who is maybe a bit extreme or sees things in black and white, or it's either this or that, you know, like caught up in their head, making rash decisions or having a hard time making decisions at all. And it's because of a fear, emotionally based, with the Knight of Cups reversed. It's a fear of not being loved. It's a fear of not receiving love from other people. Like, again, if it's, you know, more of a career thing, it could be like, I feel afraid that the people there won't accept me, or I feel afraid that if I make this decision, I'll make someone else in my circle unhappy, and that's going to be problematic. Or if it's in a relationship, you're like, oh, I feel afraid that if I go for what I want here and let this thing go, that they're not going to love me anymore. But hello, if they're not, they're obviously a shite people, because they should be supportive of their partner, right? It's not holding on to love conditionally to make you do what someone wants you to do for them. So I think, let's get a little bit more info though. Tell me about this caught up in the head, the emotion stuff. We're trying to graduate to the King of Pentacles, right? We're trying to graduate into this level of maturity and assuredness and groundedness and stability. What else do you have to tell me of this area of the cards? Don't be shy. Yeah, it's about releasing anxieties with the Nine of Swords reversed. So basically what I hear is that if I were, let me just rephrase this. It's about releasing anxieties. We're going to address this a little bit more as part of the wrap up, because I want to see what's up with the Tower before I give my advice. Because it sounds like you've got some homework, group number 2. What do we need to know about the Tower, please? A lot, apparently. Ha! Mosquito. So, the Tower. 6 of Coins. Balance and reciprocity. The Hierophant could be breaking of high-level commitments. Could be going alternative path to the traditional standard structure. However, yet you have the Ten of Pentacles, so going for what you think is the best thing for you in the long term, what can build your legacy. The Fool reverse, again, could be about either afraid to go on that journey or interested in ending a journey so that you can go on a different one. Page of Chalices, Page of Cups, so hoping for a new emotional opportunity. And Judgment reversed again. Okay, this is so fucking important. So, what I'm going to say here, you're not going to like. I can give you as much advice as possible on how to take control of the Judgment reverse. But with a double Judgment reverse here, it sounds to me like you're going to be extremely resistant. And whether that's, whatever the reason is, it's going to be really hard for you to face the trial, whether it's avoidance, whether it's trying to preserve your mental state or your emotional state, whether you are afraid of what comes beyond because you're like, I don't know what's over there and I know it's here and I'm going to stick with this. Something is going to come out of the blue to fucking disrupt it all, because it's going to force you to have the opportunity to take control of the judgment. However, with the judgment reverse again, could say that that you may not face it. It's bringing you the opportunity, and you may go, no, and stick your head in the sand. So what I want to say is, when it happens, because it will happen, it's the opportunity for you to face it. And what do you need to face? You need to face that you have been delaying moving forward in your life, that you have been delaying healing and growing on a major life level. You delay or resist having trust in the fact that this is the opportunity given to you for you to be able to do these things that are necessary in your life, for you to become more mature, for you to be able to like have reciprocity and balance and be able to like move towards this life vision that you have, rather than holding on to something that isn't serving you whatsoever. What you need to do is to address your anxieties and your fears, which are around deeply ingrained mental belief structures and emotional beliefs. So these can be emotional and mental beliefs about yourself. For example, I am not worthy, or nobody will love me, or I'm not good enough, or you know, whatever, or like I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not mature enough, or whatever it is, you know. Both of those are beliefs, and they're tied up to feeling a lack of emotional connection. You feel like you cannot be loved because of these negative beliefs are tied, and vice versa, to the feeling of not being loved and accepted. This is what you have to work on. These are your anxieties. This is what you have to face. This is what helps you grow and mature. This is what helps you elevate yourself to the next level. Imagine what it would feel like if you weren't constantly thinking these horrible thoughts about yourself. Have you had time periods like that in your life? Can you remember that? If you haven't, can you even guess at what it must feel like to not be shitting on yourself all the time? This is what we're striving for here. This is moving forward. This is growing. This is letting go of all people who are used to you having a mentality of shitting on yourself, and therefore receive benefit from you having that mentality, and they're going to want to perpetuate that. They're going to be like, well, why are you thinking this way all of a sudden, or why are you behaving like that? Or challenging the fact that suddenly you have boundaries and self-worth. Fuck that shit, okay? That is the stuff that needs to be let go of. That is the stuff that needs to be dropped. That is the stuff that should not come forward with you into this next thing. What I really want to give to you here, group number 2, is the fact that I really want to see you face this judgment so that you don't have to do this again and again and again and again, because it's fucking painful. Is there any other advice? Yeah, Hangman Reverse. This is a twofold message. On one hand, the Hanged Man Reverse says, I'm stuck seeing things the way that I've always seen them. Again, with the mental and emotional beliefs. But also, it's about, it's not time to like hang around anymore. It's time to shift perspective. It's time to move forward. You have been stuck long enough. That time period's over. Something's coming in to activate judgment for you to have the opportunity to actually do it. So, group number 2, please do it. That is your reading for the day. I'm going to pack up my cards and swat away mosquitoes. I will remind you that we do have coming up to be posted, like I said, the environment here, as well as the campsite, if you want to check it out, because we will never come back here ever again. So I highly encourage you to do so. Enjoy the environmental channel that I am starting to cultivate. of just being able to hang out in different natural-based settings if you don't want to be here for readings. And until next time, group number 2, thank you so much for being with me.